Have you ever felt that? That creeping feeling of weakness in your legs, like they're heavier than they used to be or they start aching for no good reason? Maybe you've noticed that standing for a while has become a chore, or that climbing a set of stairs feels more like tackling a mountain. If any of that sounds familiar, then you need to pay close attention. What I'm about to share in this video is something you'd probably never guess, and it could be the key to understanding exactly why this is happening to you. The problem could be hiding in plain sight, in some of the most common foods we eat, and even more surprisingly, in two vitamins that are widely believed to be essential for our health. That's right, a combination of these elements could be quietly draining the strength right out of your legs. It's a shocking thought, isn't it? That the very vitamins everyone tells you are good for you could actually be making your muscles weaker, putting a strain on your joints, and leaving your legs feeling unstable, sore, and vulnerable. The scariest part? These hidden dangers are woven into our daily lives. Every meal, every snack, every sip you take could be contributing to the weakness you're feeling. And it gets worse. You are going to be absolutely stunned when I reveal the two vitamins that you might be taking right now. You probably buy them at the pharmacy with the best of intentions, thinking you're protecting your health, taking care of your body, and strengthening your bones. When in reality, you could be accelerating muscle loss and actively sabotaging your own legs. This video is all about pulling back the curtain and revealing the truth behind these foods and supplements. You'll finally understand what's really causing that recurring fatigue, the swelling, the stiffness, and the pain. And most importantly, you'll learn exactly what to avoid and what changes to make, starting today, to reclaim your strength, your energy, and your independence. If you want to keep your legs strong for decades to come and age with vitality, you'll want to stick with me until the very end. Let's start with number 15, sweets and sugary desserts. We've all been there. A slice of cake, a cookie, a bowl of ice cream. They've always been our go-to for comfort and celebration. But after the age of 60, this sweet habit can become a silent enemy to the health of your legs. When you consume too much refined sugar, it triggers a powerful inflammatory response throughout your body, and your muscles and joints are hit particularly hard. This chronic inflammation makes your legs more sensitive, achy, and prone to breaking down. But that's not all. Sugar is directly linked to an increase in insulin resistance. Think of insulin as the key that unlocks your muscle cells to let energy in. When your body becomes resistant to it, that energy can't get where it needs to go. Your muscles are literally starved of fuel, causing them to weaken and become less efficient. On top of that, excess sugar is a fast track to weight gain, which puts even more mechanical stress on your legs. Every extra pound you carry forces your lower body's muscles and joints to work that much harder. This constant strain accelerates wear and tear, leading to more discomfort and that frustrating sense of weakness. This is especially dangerous for older adults who are already naturally losing muscle mass as part of the aging process. And it gets even more complicated. Sugar actually ramps up the production of toxins in your body, which fuels the flames of inflammation even higher. The more inflammation you have, the harder it is for your legs to stay strong and functional. Did you know that sugar has a direct impact on your circulation? Consuming it in excess increases the risk of vascular problems, which can restrict blood flow to your lower limbs. When your circulation is poor, your leg muscles don't get enough oxygen and nutrients. This slows down muscle recovery and gets in the way of tissue repair. Suddenly, the momentary pleasure of a dessert comes at a very high price for your long-term health. Beyond these metabolic consequences, most sweets are completely devoid of the essential nutrients your muscles crave, like protein and magnesium. In other words, you're filling up on empty calories that actively weaken your body instead of building it up. In our later years, this type of unbalanced diet is a major contributor to sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, which is one of the biggest enemies of mobility. So if you feel like your legs are getting weaker, the culprit might be as simple as that daily slice of pie or piece of cake. What seems like an innocent treat could be slowly chipping away at your strength and independence. It's also worth noting that most store-bought sweets are packed with chemical additives, things like artificial colors and preservatives, that can make inflammation even worse. These ingredients disrupt your body's natural balance and have a direct negative effect on your muscular system. When you combine them with sugar, you've got a recipe for poor health. Making a switch is a huge step in the right direction. Try swapping out these sweets for natural alternatives, like fresh fruit with a sprinkle of cinnamon or homemade desserts where you can control the sugar content. You don't have to give up dessert entirely, you just have to make smarter choices that respect your body. Your legs and your taste buds will thank you for it. Number 12, fried foods. Let's be honest, the crispy, salty allure of fried food is hard to resist, but the damage it inflicts on your body, especially after 60, simply can't be ignored. These foods are loaded with trans fats and saturated fats, which are notorious for sending inflammatory markers skyrocketing in your body. This inflammation directly targets your muscles and joints, leading to stiffness, increased pain, and a higher risk of injury in your legs. The fat in fried foods also messes with your blood flow. It makes it harder for your circulatory system to deliver oxygen to your muscles, and without proper oxygenation, your body's ability to repair itself and build strength is severely compromised. Think about it. Poor circulation essentially starves your muscles of what they need to thrive. But there's another problem. Fried foods contribute to the blockage of your blood vessels. This further restricts the delivery of vital nutrients to your leg muscles. Over time, this process weakens your entire support structure and speeds up the degeneration of your joints. Some of the biggest offenders here are foods like donuts, French fries, and chicken nuggets. Before we go on, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Drop a comment down below and feel free to ask any questions you might have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the best health advice from Senior Health. If you're getting value from this video so far, let me know you're with me by commenting "I'm with you" down below. When you eat these foods regularly, you're basically overwhelming your skeletal and circulatory systems. The temporary taste isn't worth the long-term health consequences. Have you ever noticed that after a meal heavy in fried foods, your legs feel achy and heavy? That's your body's immediate reaction to the overload of unhealthy fats. Digesting these foods also requires a massive amount of energy, which leaves less energy available for your muscles. This deficit can translate directly into that feeling of leg fatigue. Furthermore, a habit of eating fried foods is directly linked to weight gain, which, as we know, puts even more strain on your lower body. It's a vicious cycle that's hard to break. Fried foods also have a very low nutritional density. This means they offer virtually no of the vitamins, minerals, and proteins that are actually needed to strengthen your muscles. A diet dominated by these kinds of foods creates a nutritional imbalance that actively encourages the loss of muscle mass. And less muscle means less stability and less strength in your legs, which directly impacts your ability to walk confidently, climb stairs, or carry your groceries. Avoiding fried foods is one of the simplest and most effective steps you can take to preserve your mobility and independence. Swapping fried items for baked, grilled, or steamed versions can make a world of difference for your legs. Number 11. Processed meats. For many of us, processed meats are a go-to for a quick and easy meal. But foods like bacon, ham, and sausages hide serious risks for your leg health, especially as you get older. These products are loaded with sodium and chemical preservatives, which are known to promote chronic inflammation throughout your body. This type of inflammation often settles in the joints, causing persistent pain in your knees, ankles, and the muscles of your legs. That stiffness you might feel when you first wake up in the morning could be directly related to these foods. Another major drawback of processed meats is their high content of saturated fat. This type of fat harms your circulation by raising bad cholesterol levels and reducing blood flow to your muscles. When your leg muscles are deprived of adequate irrigation, they don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need for proper maintenance and regeneration. The result is a gradual weakening of your lower body, and eventually, this decline in strength can start to limit your ability to perform basic daily tasks. These foods also contribute to the buildup of toxins in your body, putting stress on your liver and kidneys. These organs are vital for filtering out harmful substances, and when they become overburdened, these toxins can accumulate and lead to muscle fatigue. The preservatives found in processed meats have also been shown to interfere with glucose metabolism, which reduces the amount of energy available to your muscles. Once again, the impact is felt directly in your legs, manifesting as a constant feeling of heaviness and fatigue. While many older adults choose these products for their convenience, this is precisely the stage of life when we need to be extra vigilant about our diet. The convenience isn't worth the sacrifice in your quality of life. Making the switch to healthier protein sources like chicken, fish, eggs, and lean cuts of beef is a critical first step in preserving your muscle strength and health. Simple swaps can make all the difference. Try having cooked eggs for breakfast instead of sausage, or using shredded chicken breast in your sandwich instead of ham. When you make these changes, your body begins to adjust. Your legs will start to feel lighter and more energetic. It's a trade-off that makes perfect sense. A little bit of flavor for a lifetime of freedom and mobility.
All right, let's keep going. We've already uncovered some major culprits hiding in our diet, but we're far from finished. Let's move on to number 10 on our list. Number 10, instant noodles. In a world that values speed and convenience, instant noodles can seem like the perfect solution for a quick meal. However, the convenience they offer comes at a steep price, especially for the health of your legs after 60. This fast meal is primarily made of refined flour and a cocktail of chemical additives, offering almost no real nutritional value. What you get is a meal that's high in calories, but dangerously low in the fiber, protein, and micronutrients that are absolutely essential for maintaining your muscle mass. Over time, a diet that includes these noodles directly contributes to the deterioration of your legs and your mobility. One of the most alarming things about instant noodles is their incredibly high sodium content. A single serving can easily contain more than half of the entire recommended daily intake of salt. This massive sodium overload causes your body to retain fluid, which leads to swollen, heavy, and painful legs. On top of that, it drives up your blood pressure, which significantly hinders proper blood flow to your muscles. When your circulation is compromised like this, your muscle tissues become undernourished, making them weaker and much slower to recover from daily activities. Then there are the chemical additives packed into those little flavor sackets that come with the noodles. Preservatives, artificial colors, and flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate, or MSG, are often at the top of the ingredients list. These substances are frequently linked to chronic inflammatory processes in the body. Even if the inflammation is low grade, when it's constant, it impairs joint function and accelerates muscle breakdown. Eventually, this leads to more frequent discomfort, stiffness, and restrictions in your mobility, becoming a new, unwelcome part of daily life for those who regularly eat these foods. The impact on your metabolism is also critical. The lack of fiber gives these noodles a high glycemic index, which causes your blood sugar to spike and then crash. This glycemic instability messes with your insulin activity, preventing your muscles from using energy efficiently. When your muscles don't have a steady source of fuel, they become weak and tire out quickly. A poor diet can turn what should be a simple walk to the corner store into an exhausting struggle. Number 9, industrially made cakes. They smell like happy memories and taste like celebration, but those commercially made cakes you buy at the grocery store conceal ingredients that can seriously harm your leg health, particularly in your mature years. These products are filled with processed sugar, hydrogenated fats, and a host of synthetic preservatives, all of which disrupt your metabolism and trigger inflammation in the body. The sheer amount of sugar is the first problem. As we've discussed, it interferes with insulin function and encourages the body to store fat. This not only leads to weight gain, but also creates a metabolic environment that is hostile to preserving muscle strength. The second major issue is the presence of trans fats, which are often listed as hydrogenated oils. These fats are used by manufacturers to improve the texture and extend the shelf life of their products. What they do to your body is raise your bad cholesterol, or LDL, and lower your good cholesterol, or HDL, which severely compromises your blood circulation. When your circulation is poor like this, your muscles are starved of the nutrients they need to stay strong, leading to their gradual deterioration. Over the long term, this can result in a loss of lean muscle mass, joint stiffness, and eventually serious mobility problems. Regularly eating these factory-made cakes is also linked to chronic inflammation, one of the primary drivers of muscle weakness and joint pain. The other artificial ingredients, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and dyes, can trigger an immune response, causing inflammation that primarily affects the joints in your legs. The result is more pain, less mobility, and a vicious cycle of inactivity that only accelerates muscle loss for those who regularly eat these foods. While they may be delicious, these cakes have a very low nutritional density. This means that they are heavy in calories, but completely lacking in the essential nutrients your body needs, like protein, calcium, and magnesium, which are all vital for muscle and bone health. Eating this kind of food regularly is like trying to run your body's engine on contaminated fuel. In this scenario, your muscles are the engine and they simply can't perform properly. Instead, they show signs of failure, fatigue, weakness, and slowness. Often the convenience of pre-made foods leads us to make these choices without thinking. But making your own cakes at home with whole grain flour, natural sweeteners like fruit, and healthy oils can be just as satisfying. The difference is the profound impact that choice will have on your body. Your muscles will thank you with more strength, energy, and vitality. Number 8, ultra-processed cheeses. They might seem like a convenient and tasty addition to a sandwich or a plate of crackers, but ultra-processed cheeses, think cheese spreads, processed slices, and meltable cheese products, mask serious risks for anyone trying to maintain leg strength after 60. These foods launch a two-pronged attack on your muscular and vascular systems because they are incredibly high in both sodium and saturated fat. The sodium promotes fluid retention and increases your blood pressure, while the saturated fat undermines the flexibility of your blood vessels, impairing circulation. This combination is a recipe for legs that feel bloated, heavy, and achy. Furthermore, ultra-processed cheeses often contain other additives like preservatives and phosphates, which can throw off your body's mineral balance. Phosphates in particular can directly interfere with your body's ability to absorb and use calcium and magnesium, which are two minerals that are absolutely critical for proper muscle contraction and bone health. When the absorption of these minerals is incorrect, your body starts showing signs of muscle fatigue, joint pain, and even nighttime cramps. And because your leg muscles are so large and used so frequently, they are often the first place you'll notice these warning signs. Another crucial point is that these cheeses are often lacking in high-quality protein. Unlike artisanal or natural cheeses, which retain more of their nutritional profile, ultra-processed versions go through industrial manufacturing that degrades their nutritional density. This means that while you're consuming calories, your body isn't getting the essential amino acids it needs to repair and sustain muscle mass. As we age, losing muscle is one of the main causes of functional decline and dependency. Have you ever noticed that after a meal high in processed foods, your body just feels heavier and less energetic? That feeling is real. It's the result of the demineralizing and inflammatory action of these foods. Over time, the lack of essential nutrients leads to weaker bones and a decline in muscular performance. Short walks that used to be easy suddenly require more effort, and steps become a barrier. It's entirely possible that this decline is connected to the type of cheese you're putting on your toast. A great way to protect your health is to replace these products with fresher, less processed cheeses like ricotta, cottage cheese, or natural feta. And remember, we're getting closer to the most important reveal of this video. The 2 worst vitamins for your legs are still to come. Number 7, industrial ice creams. On a hot day or as a special dessert, industrial ice cream is one of the most popular treats out there. But these products pose a great danger to your leg health after 60. They are typically loaded with refined sugar and saturated fats, making them highly caloric and inflammatory. This combination causes sharp spikes in your blood sugar, followed by rapid crashes, which wreaks havoc on your muscular energy stability. This instability leaves your legs feeling weak, heavy, and much more susceptible to fatigue. The saturated fat found in ice cream, especially in lower quality brands, is particularly damaging to your cardiovascular system. It makes it more difficult for oxygenated blood to reach the extremities of your body, including your legs. The result can be a feeling of numbness, tingling, and even persistent cramps. All this time, we think we're just treating ourselves. Furthermore, industrial ice creams are often packed with artificial colors, emulsifiers, and thickeners that contribute to inflammation in the body. This quiet inflammation is one of the key causes of damage to joint and muscle tissue. Consuming these products regularly promotes digestive and hormonal imbalances that directly interfere with the absorption of nutrients that are essential for muscle development. Without proper nutrition, your body simply can't stay strong and stable over time.
Number 6, milk chocolates. Whether as a dessert or a little indulgence during the day, milk chocolate is a part of many people's routines. But its regular consumption can have a much more serious impact than you might think. especially on the legs of people over 60. Because they are high in both sugar and saturated fat, these chocolates promote inflammatory mechanisms that directly affect your joints and muscles. The combination of high glucose and unhealthy fat creates a metabolic overload that encourages the decline of your muscular strength. One of the main issues with milk chocolate is its low cocoa content. The cocoa bean is where all the beneficial antioxidants are found. Most commercial versions of milk chocolate, however, are highly processed products loaded with preservatives and artificial sweeteners, leaving very little of the good stuff behind. These chemicals not only put a strain on your liver and pancreas, but also disrupt the absorption of vital nutrients needed for muscle health. The result is legs that feel exhausted, lack vigor, and are more susceptible to aches and stiffness. The simple sugars in these chocolates are absorbed very quickly, causing insulin surges that drain your muscles of energy. For individuals who are already struggling to maintain lean muscle mass, this volatility is catastrophic. Furthermore, milk chocolate is often linked to weight gain, particularly around the stomach, which worsens the strain on your lower body. This continuous overload accelerates the wear and tear on the joints of your knees, hips, and ankles. However, this doesn't mean you have to give up chocolate entirely. Healthy alternatives can still allow for happy moments. Chocolates with a high cocoa content, 70% or more, provide antioxidants and flavonoids that actually help circulation and muscle health. When eaten in moderation, these types of dark chocolate can even be a partner in your vascular health. The key, as always, is in the selection and the amount, driven by awareness and balance. Number 5. Canned foods. While they are undeniably convenient, canned foods contain a number of ingredients that can seriously endanger your health of your legs in old age. Most of these products are loaded with salt, sugar, colors, and chemical preservatives like sodium benzoate and nitrites. These substances are highly inflammatory and can damage both your muscle and vascular health. When you eat them often, they interfere with the muscle regeneration process and make it harder for your muscles to get the oxygen they need. The excess salt in canned goods is one of the biggest problems. It promotes fluid retention, which is a primary reason for that feeling of heavy, uncomfortable legs. This retention doesn't just cause pain, it can also be a sign of poor circulation and tissue inflammation. For those with hypertension, which is common after 60, the problem becomes even worse as the extra salt puts more stress on the cardiovascular system and compromises the delivery of essential nutrients to your muscles. The decline in nutritional quality is another major concern with canned foods. The high heat canning process, while necessary for preservation, destroys a significant portion of the inherent nutrients in the food. Even canned vegetables and meats lose most of their vitamins and minerals. What's left is a product that's low in real nutrition, but high in substances that your body has to work hard to eliminate. This metabolic stress drains your energy and compromises muscular performance. If you're dealing with constant fatigue and weakness in your legs, your diet might be more to blame than you think. Furthermore, some cans are lined with chemicals like BPA, and the aluminum from the can itself can leach into the food over time, albeit in tiny quantities. There are studies suggesting that the regular consumption of food stored in these containers can build up in the body and potentially harm the nervous system and muscle function. This increases the risk of imbalances, falls, and gradual weakening, a risk that just isn't worth taking given the other options on the market. For anyone who wants to maintain their mobility, avoiding canned items and choosing fresh, frozen, or naturally preserved alternatives is a vital first step. Cooking with real ingredients, free from synthetic additives, offers almost immediate benefits to your well-being. It's a choice that protects your independence and quality of life for years to come. If you thought that only processed foods could harm your legs, you'll be surprised by what's coming next. We're about to discuss the 2 most dangerous vitamins for your muscle health. The truth about these supplements might shock you. Number 4. Filled cookies and processed snacks. These are the snacks that fill vending machines and line the aisles of convenience stores. Filled cookies, crackers, and other processed treats. However, after the age of 60, consuming them can rapidly accelerate the loss of strength in your legs. These foods are true aggressors to your body as they are packed with artificial substances like dyes, flavorings, preservatives, and stabilizers. These chemicals not only aggravate inflammation in the body, but also put a strain on vital organs like your liver and kidneys, which directly disrupt the circulation and the absorption of nutrients needed for your muscles. These products are high in calories, but low in everything that actually matters: protein, fiber, minerals. In other words, they provide a lot of energy with very little nourishment. For older adults, this is particularly harmful because the body no longer retains nutrients as efficiently as it did in its youth. You need a richer, more functional diet to offset the natural loss of muscle mass that comes with aging. Eating foods that are high in sugar, hydrogenated fat, and salt only speeds up this decline. The type of fat used in these products, often trans fat, is one of the biggest inflammatory triggers in the modern diet. It not only clogs your arteries, but also hinders the flow of oxygen-rich and nutrient-rich blood to your muscles. When the irrigation to your leg muscles is poor, it results in pain, fatigue, and sometimes a feeling of unsteadiness. The fragility imposes itself quietly but steadily. Furthermore, the excessive salt in these foods causes fluid retention, which is a primary reason for that feeling of heavy, uncomfortable legs. This retention doesn't just cause pain, it can also be a sign of poor circulation and tissue inflammation. For those with hypertension, which is common after 60, the problem becomes even worse as the extra salt puts more stress on the cardiovascular system and compromises the delivery of essential nutrients to your muscles. The decline in nutritional quality is another major concern with canned foods. The high-heat canning process, while necessary for preservation, destroys a significant portion of the inherent nutrients in the food. Even canned vegetables and meats lose most of their vitamins and minerals. What's left is a product that's low in real nutrition, but high in substances that your body has to work hard to eliminate. This metabolic stress drains your energy and compromises muscular performance. If you're dealing with constant fatigue and weakness in your legs, your diet might be more to blame than you think. Part 3. We've covered a lot of ground, from sugary cakes to salty snacks, but now we need to talk about a specific ingredient that lurks in countless processed foods. This brings us to number 3. Number 3, monosodium glutamate, or MSG. You'll find it in everything from ready-made seasonings and packet soups to meat broths and frozen dinners. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, is an additive designed to enhance the flavor of foods, but its effects on the human body go far beyond taste. For people over 60, regular consumption of MSG can be particularly harmful, especially to the muscles in your legs. Here's how it works. MSG can act on your central nervous system. For individuals who are more sensitive to this chemical, it can affect crucial neurotransmitters that control muscle contraction. This can lead to a range of symptoms, including muscle aches, tingling sensations, headaches, and a general feeling of fatigue. When these effects manifest in your legs, they can create feelings of heaviness, stiffness, and sometimes even slight tremors. The problem can get worse as we age because the body may become increasingly sensitive to what are known as excitotoxic chemicals, which are substances that can overstimulate and potentially harm nerve cells. Furthermore, monosodium glutamate is known to contribute to chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the body, which, as we now know, affects your joints, muscles, and even your blood vessels. This inflammation compromises muscle function and circulation to your extremities. When your legs are poorly oxygenated, your risk of muscle weakness, cramping, and a loss of mobility increases significantly. Many of the foods that are high in MSG are also incredibly high in sodium, which, as we've discussed, worsens fluid retention and swelling in the legs. This additive can also interfere with your energy metabolism by altering how your muscles utilize glucose. This reduces your muscles' efficiency in converting fuel into strength, which compromises the power in your legs even during simple activities like walking short distances or climbing stairs. Over the long run, a diet high in these foods can contribute to muscle mass loss and a greater dependency on others for daily tasks. The tricky part is that many people are unaware of just how much MSG they're consuming. Manufacturers often hide it on product labels under different names, such as yeast extract, hydrolyzed protein, flavor enhancer, or natural flavors. This makes it hard to avoid unless you know what to look for. The solution is to get back to basics. Choose natural flavorings like fresh herbs, garlic, onions, spices, and a good olive oil, and move away from ultra-processed foods and artificial seasonings. And now we've arrived at the part of the video you've been waiting for. We're about to expose the 2 vitamins that, if taken in excess, could be actively compromising the strength in your legs. The reality of these supplements is going to shock you. Number 2, excess vitamin A. Vitamin A is absolutely essential for many bodily functions, including your vision, your immune system, and the health of your skin. But here's the critical point. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Taking too much vitamin A, particularly from high-dose supplements, can be toxic and lead to a condition called hypervitaminosis A, which has a number of negative consequences, including serious effects on your leg muscles. After the age of 60, our bodies can struggle to metabolize and excrete excess amounts of this vitamin. Because vitamin A is fat-soluble, it doesn't just pass through your system, it gets stored in your liver and fatty tissues, allowing it to build up to dangerous levels. One of the most common signs of vitamin A toxicity is muscle and joint pain, especially in the legs and back. This pain comes from the excess vitamin causing inflammation in the muscular tissues. It's a type of discomfort that could easily be mistaken for arthritis or other spinal issues. Beyond just pain, you might notice clear signs of muscle weakness, finding it harder to climb stairs or walk long distances or even get up from a chair after sitting for a while. This is a direct indication that your nutritional balance has been thrown off. Too much vitamin A can also interfere with the absorption and metabolism of other crucial nutrients, including vitamin D. This creates a cascade of problems as these vitamins need to work in harmony. Without this balance, your muscles can't contract and relax properly, which can lead to fatigue, spasms, and painful cramps in your legs. Another dangerous side effect of excess vitamin A is bone demineralization. It can actually weaken your bones, particularly in the hips and legs, the very areas that bear your weight every day. This makes your bones more fragile and dramatically increases the risk of fractures from a minor fall or stumble. For anyone who already has osteopenia or osteoporosis, the impact is even more devastating. This is why vitamin A supplements should only ever be used under strict medical guidance and always in regulated amounts. Self-medication is one of the biggest drivers of these hidden health problems. When you get your vitamin A from natural food sources like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, egg yolks, and liver, your body can regulate it much easier, and it's almost impossible to reach toxic levels. The risk comes from potent supplements or consuming too many fortified foods. You have to be mindful of your total intake, including what's in your daily multivitamin. And now for the number 1 most harmful vitamin for your legs when taken improperly. This one may be the most surprising of all. Number 1, excess vitamin D. This is going to sound controversial because vitamin D is constantly and correctly praised for its importance in bone health and immune function. It's especially recommended for older adults. But very few people realize that taking too much of it, almost always from excessive supplementation, can have severe negative consequences, especially for your legs. When you have too much vitamin D in your system, it leads to a condition called hypervitaminosis D. The main problem this causes is a buildup of calcium in your blood, a dangerous state known as hypercalcemia. And one of the key places this imbalance shows up is in your muscles. The symptoms can include muscle weakness, a feeling of burning in the legs, stiffness, persistent cramps, and joint pain. Hypercalcemia directly interferes with the electrical impulses from your nerves that direct your body's movements, leading to a loss of motor coordination. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that your body can easily flush out, vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it gets stored in your body's fat tissues and can accumulate over time. This excess can lead to the unnecessary calcification of soft tissues, including your muscles and tendons. This means that places like your calves, thighs, and the areas around your knees can become stiffer, less flexible, and painful, especially during physical activity. What should be a protective nutrient becomes an agent of stiffness and restriction.
Elderly adults who take high-dose vitamin D supplements without medical supervision are at the highest risk for these problems. There's another troubling issue. Extremely high doses of vitamin D can damage your kidneys, the very organs responsible for balancing minerals in your blood. When your kidneys aren't working properly, they can't filter substances efficiently, which can worsen leg edema, muscle pain, and that overall feeling of weakness. It creates a destructive feedback loop. More vitamin D leads to more calcium in the blood, which puts more strain on the kidneys, which leads to more muscle problems. This is why it is absolutely critical to emphasize this point. Vitamin D supplementation should always be personalized based on blood tests and a doctor's recommendation. So many people believe that more is better when it comes to vitamins and take huge amounts on their own, thinking they're doing something good for their body. But excess can be just as dangerous as deficiency. And when it comes to your legs, the result can be the loss of your mobility and your independence. If this video has opened your eyes to the hidden dangers in our food and supplements, and you want to continue learning how to become a healthier person with a higher quality of life, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Our goal here is to empower you with the knowledge you need to take control of your health. Now, speaking of things that are essential when used correctly, I've made another video that breaks down the 3 must-have vitamins that every diabetic should know about. You can check it out by clicking on the video that's on your screen right now. Thank you so much for being with me today. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.